In 1961, January 31st, the United States government launched a monkey into space. This monkey came back alive. This was the 65th attempt by the United States of America to send a monkey into space and get them to come back alive. And this one actually succeeded. So this monkey was named Ham, right? This monkey lives the space exploration thing, and he's famous now. He's famous, but he was the 65th monkey sent into space. And the fact that he made it back is absolutely insane. But what's even more insane is that in 2008, a film was made about this monkey that involves 3 different monkeys going into space, you know where we're going with this, and going onto an insane alien planet with the craziest pacing, the craziest story, the craziest jokes. This is one of the most insane movies I've ever seen, and not in a good way. Today we're talking about
Space Chimps. Where's reverse on this thing?
Now, to start this off, the whole premise of this movie is like, what if chimps, when they were sent up into space like Ham was, what if they were aware and sentient during that, and they were on their own little expedition? And I think that premise is really good, but what they end up doing with this is creating a plot where basically Ham is canon in this story. That is the main character's great-grandfather or something like that. It's either his grandpa or his great-grandpa. I don't care, okay? It's Space Chimps. But the point is, he is kind of living in his grandfather's shadow, and he's like a circus monkey at this point, launching himself out of a cannon, hoping to reach for the stars one day. But he's like really self-conscious about it and kind of just a dick and really weird to every single girl he sees. Not only is this chimp completely insane, but this chimp is also voiced by Andy Samberg. That's right, the very same Andy Samberg that is in The Lonely Island. Or was he the creator of that? I don't know. But also famous stuff like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You know him, you love him, and the fact that he was in this movie is fucking insane, okay? This movie had a budget of $37 million, and you would have to assume that most of it went to this cast, because this cast is insane. I'm telling you, when they got Tom Kenny, I'm telling you they got Tom Kenny, alright? We got Andy Samberg, Tom Kenny, and we got Patrick Warburton, which is just a crazy pick. Kronk in the movie as one of the main characters? And not only that, but apparently someone named Kristen Chenoweth is there, which I don't know much about because they're like a Broadway performer or whatever, but they have been performing Wicked Broadway stuff for a bit now, which is also absolutely insane because the character that they play is Kilowatt, which is a little fucking light bulb creature I want to kick across the room. Listen, I hate this movie, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about why. One of the main issues is the characters. The characters in this movie are very, very unlikable. Honestly, most of the cast is like a piece of shit that you don't want to root for. Except for, with the exception of Luna, they're just kind of girl. They just kind of girl. That's their role. But the messed up part is, I don't think they meant for it to be this way. I think that they thought this was quirky, and maybe it's just hindsight, because looking back in the big 2026 where, you know, we've had so many movies that are like revolutionary, especially with animation, with stuff like Puss in Boots and you know, Spider-Verse, that when you look at a fucking monkey dancing with gumdrops and a light bulb monster, you're like, okay bro, what are we doing here? What is this? Okay? And that's the other problem that we're going to go directly into, which is the pacing. Not only are the characters terrible and completely trash, but also the pacing in this movie is insane. It's like a toddler was let loose in a candy store after drinking 17 espresso shots. It is crazy pacing. It's actually insane. We go from a circus to a space station, to back to the circus, to back to the space station, to in the rocket, to in space, through a wormhole, to more stuff in space, it's just insane. And all of that happens in the span of 20 minutes. They genuinely have, it has to be 20 scene changes in the first 20 minutes of this movie, maybe even more. It might be more than that, because the pace of this movie is breakneck. They wanted to get through this as fast as possible. And I don't blame them. I feel like, you know, when you're making a movie like Space Chimps, you gotta just kind of roll with the punches at that point and just get it done, you know, throw it out there so that you can stop looking at it, you know? Because this movie, we have to keep in mind that at this point in time, WALL-E is out. There's movies out there, and granted, this has a way smaller budget than WALL-E, but there's movies out there that look insane compared to this. And then you see this guy, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? What did you do? Did someone just like fuck around in Blender and find out? Because that's what it looks like. And even just the design of these monsters and the design of this alien world is so insane, because they very well could have just had these monkeys go to like the moon, you know, and deal with the struggles of going to the moon, like getting there, dealing with oxygen and fighting all these things. But instead they chose to send these monkeys through a wormhole to an alien world where a weird alien is trying to become an overlord by using a human technology thing that he found, a human rover. And it's, oh my god, this movie's insane. And the entire time, there's also two monkeys in the space station fighting the space station people, then like keeping them out of rooms and stuff and taking over control rooms so that they can keep in contact with the monkeys in space. When I say this is a fever dream, I really mean it. I lost my mind watching this movie. Because as time goes on in this movie, it beats you down. I had so much resolve at the start of this movie, but by the time he danced with the gumdrop version of himself, I was like losing it. I had to stop the movie and continue it another day, genuinely. I wish I had the recording of me and my partner watching this, because when I say the anger they felt at 90% of the jokes was so justified and so like oh my god. Some of these jokes and some of these scenes and some of these things that they say are just so, I hate to say this, I don't like to use the word cringy, but I genuinely don't know what else to say. There's a point in time where the little light bulb fucker, who screams as a quirk, by the way, that's like their whole character arc, is that they scream all the time, and it really annoys me because the particular pitch that they scream at makes me want to pummel them, Omni-Man style, not even a funny way, like a bad way. Never mind, cut that out of the video. But they are genuinely one of the most annoying and disgusting characters I have seen in film. Not just because of their appearance, but because of the way that they speak, and even the little autistic dance they do when they think that they're safe. I hate everything about them. I wanna kick them, alright? And my hatred for this character is to the point where I don't even remember what I was saying. I think I was saying that the monsters are stupid. I don't even know. But that's the thing about this movie. It's such a fever dream that there's so much to talk about. And still, this movie managed to gross $64.8 million in the box office. If that isn't insane, I don't know what the fuck is. And the thing that really gets me, the thing that fucks me up the most, and the big secret that I've been keeping throughout this video, is that I'm part of the problem. When I was younger, I watched this movie a total of 85 times at least. I watched this shit on the regular, every single day, every afternoon. I was clocking in Space Chimps at 8 p.m., Space Chimps at 8 a.m. I would wake up at 12, put on the DVD of Space Chimps, and then later that night, watch the same DVD of the same movie. I was part of the problem, and I can't express enough how much it irks me that I did this to me. I was part of the 64.8 billion, and obviously not that much. But I'm losing it, okay? You can tell, this is not okay. And you know the most fucked up part? Is we haven't even talked about the villain. The villain of this movie is a hateful, just kind of evil person for literally no reason. And that is the plot. He literally just is an asshole. And everyone's like, man, fuck you. That's literally his first interaction, is he's like, if I could, I would kill all you fuckers. And they're like, dude, fuck you. What the hell did we do? And then a giant space drone falls from the sky and he starts to kill everyone with the space drone. And I'm not joking. This happens within the span of 3 minutes. Like, it's insane pace. When I say this is crazy pacing, I really mean it. They had so much to do for no reason. Because there's this whole plot about Zartog and his mission to, like, recreate human stuff, because when the rover landed, it showed him a video of humanity and he was like, oh, that shit is sick, I want to do that. So he's like enslaving his entire race to recreate humanity structures like a casino. And he's like dunking people in this weird graphic 3D liquid that freezes them. It's so stupid. This movie's so stupid. This movie is the dumbest shit. I need to take a second before I keep talking about this, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep insulting it. I don't want to throw out insults, because this movie had some crazy names behind it. We got Chris Bacon, alright? Now y'all don't know who Chris Bacon is. Okay, you maybe you do. But Chris Bacon, he's done some crazy composing, alright? He has done the music for Romeo and Juliet, and also a lot of other renowned films such as Romeo and Juliet or Sherlock Gnomes. I think he did the music for that. Don't fact check me, don't do it. And you know, I'm talking a lot of shit, but this movie was made in 2 years flat. That is kind of impressive for what they have going on here. But just the amount of stuff that happens in this movie, and the pacing and the story in itself. Like, the idea of, you know, Ham going into space and he's like actually sentient and he's going on this space expedition in the moon or whatever. That's cool. But going these extra steps to create this wacky, insane world that these monkeys run around in, where they have like these flying creatures and these sarcastic little cold colored people. Is that that doesn't sound right. But it's true, they're all purple, blue, and like green. They're all very, very cold colors, which is another choice that I'm just like not really sure why they did that, but you know, it's just a lot of really weird decisions in this movie, including the scientist, because I haven't even mentioned this at this point. There's another third subplot going on. So, okay, we have 4 plots going on at any given point in time. At the beginning of the movie, when they land on the planet, Titan gets separated, which is, you know, Patrick Warburton. He gets separated from the rest of the crew, Andy Samberg and such. So they're separated, which is like 2 different plot lines, where you're following Titan interacting with Zartog, and you're following the monkey and the other monkey interacting with the planet. Then you have the monkeys at the space station, the old man monkey and the one that wanted to go but couldn't. And then you have the scientists, who are fighting with the mayor to keep the program open because it's failing right now, and he's gonna shut it down to like do decorative plate Wednesday or some shit. And that's not even me making that up. That's what they say in the movie. The movie tries to juggle all of these plots while still trying to make a cohesive story about what's going on in this universe and who these characters are, and still trying to grow these characters as people, to the point where they have a whole section about a therapy cloud, where they go inside of this cloud of id, and Luna literally gives therapy to Ham. And he's like, oh, I'm living in my grandpa's shadow, and I want to prove myself, but if I try, I'm worried I'll fail, stuff like that. And the only reason they did that is because they had no time, and that's what it feels like in this movie. And it feels like if they sacrificed one of these plot lines, or just like kept Titan with the group or something like that, they could have really like stuck the landing here. And I say that as if there's not other glaring issues like the jokes and the characters, but you know, I feel like it could have been at least more condensed and a bit more cohesive, because this movie is genuinely insane, and if you're not looking, you will be confused as fuck, because everything is happening all the time, and you can't look away for a second without some crazy shit going on, alright? I mean, here's 3 random clips from the movie, and you will have zero clue what's going on, just like I did.
I'm going to destroy you.
I appreciate your honesty. You're a good man, Zartig. Are you alone?
Yes, my village was imprisoned by Zartog and a sky beast.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
And you can't make it make sense either, because it doesn't. And that's the thing about this movie. It's so insane that it's just hard to even like comprehend or watch and sit through. It is one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. But that being said, I think this movie is a very, very, very good non-sober movie. Now, I don't condone anyone getting drunk or, doing any of that stuff, because I don't want to tell people what to do. But I'm also just saying, if you take a shot every time they make a chimp pun, this might be a good experience for you, is all I'm saying, all right? And that's kind of how I feel about this movie, because during this movie, there was a point in time where we had to stop and just completely stop watching the movie. And the next night, I just so happened to be partaking in a little bit of green leaves of such that I will not condone or say on YouTube, because I don't know how they feel about that. But besides the point, that did make this movie a lot more, it made it more polarizing, because the moments that were cringy were so much worse, but the moments that were tolerable were a lot more tolerable. With that being said, there is a few jokes in this movie that made me laugh, and I'm not proud of it at all. I'm very angry at that fact. But one of those jokes involves Ham using a jetpack and crashing, and the jetpack runs out of fuel and he just falls and crashes. And the senator pulls the mic up and he's like, and that is why we put the helmets on the monkeys. All right, he's okay. I'm so sad that I laughed at that, but I did laugh at that. And this is the same movie which had jokes that had me genuinely mad at the movie. I was like, oh my god, come on. It's just, I'm so upset that there was a couple that got me. So with that being said, would I recommend this movie to you at home? I would say if you got a group of friends and you want to watch a shitty movie and laugh at it, hell yeah, go for it. Or if you're thinking I want a drinking movie, I'm gonna go take some shots to a movie, do that to this one. This one is a very good movie for that. You will not know what's going on, but you won't know what's going on sober anyway. So, I mean, with that being said, how would I rate this movie out of 10? I would say maybe a 3, maybe a 4. If you're not in the right mindset or you're having a fever dream, I would say maybe an 8, but that's only because this is some of the stupidest shit you will ever see, and it can't help but be funny. Except for when the little light bulb guy is on screen, I genuinely want to die, because that sound hurts my ears and it makes me want to cry. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. I'm rhyming all the time, and never mind. I'm gonna go now, because this has severely affected my mental state, and I feel like I am being diminished mentally. These are words that I'm saying, and you know what they mean. So I'm gonna go. Don't watch this movie. It changes you. It makes something happen in your brain, and it doesn't ever go back to normal. Listen, this movie, it's affected my family. It's affected my loved ones. It has gone as far as to tear me apart from everyone I know. This movie has isolated me. This movie is a cult classic. All right, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm outside of my mind right now, because this movie is fucking insane. They have banana phones. I can't keep talking about this. I just can't. With that being said, look at his grandpa in space, and I'm gonna go now. So, thank you. Look at my Patreon. If you go on the Patreon, full color for all these clips that you're seeing, because on YouTube they're not gonna let me do that. For future movie reviews, if you want to see my initial reaction completely recorded for these, that will also be on Patreon, but that won't be there for now. Also, names of Patreon people are on screen right now, and that's right, there is one Patreon person, and they have a free subscription, but so you can too. Come on, let's go click the link and go. And also, the same rewards are for any amount. You can pay $1, you can pay $2, you can pay $3, and you get the same shit every single time. Because I want Patreon to be an outlet for you guys to be able to give me money, but also a way for you guys to be able to watch what YouTube doesn't want you to watch regardless. Because even if you don't pay any money, you can still sign up for free to get the same content. It's literally just, do you want to pay me money? Go to Patreon. And if you don't want to pay me money, go to Patreon, because you can still get that shit for free. And with that being said, I'm gonna go now. I don't know why I'm so energetic right now, but this movie has irked something inside of me. It has pulled out a demon, and I'm afraid that I may never be the same. So I'm gonna go try to recover. I'm gonna probably get some therapy 2 times a week and talk about the repercussions of watching Space Chimps. And all I have to do now is pray that nobody asks me to review Space Chimps 2. Please. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Bye.